Welcome to this week's edition of the North East Football Show. Les, I'm sure you had already recorded an opening for the show.
I did, and then things took a little turn for the worst, and we've had to do another one, unfortunately.
Yeah, so this week, the highlights package that would normally put in the show could be a little bit more in depth. Is that right?
That's right. One or two more interviews, and we normally like to put on, but I think it's important this week that we do them.
Fantastic.
FA Vars Day, and I've travelled to Newton Aycliffe. Nick, you through the next round, Hertford game?
Yeah, it was a tough game. We knew it was going to be, but credit to the group in there, they did fantastic.
What do you think the difference on the day was?
Little bit of quality, I think quality always shines through in the end, and I think we had just a little bit more in the end.
Yeah, it's you stormed into first 10-15 minutes, and I thought it was going to be a comfortable game. Then they get the goal. What did you say at half time?
Don't stop playing, we stopped playing, but when they got the goal, we tried doing something that we don't do, trying to play the same type of way they play, and came up the second half. I thought the lads responded really well in the second half.
They're a physical side. Do you think that put you off your stride a little bit?
It's football, people are going to be physical. You're going to have to take that in the chin and just rise above it and get on with it,
So, overall, happy with the performance?
Yeah, hey, cup game through to the next round. Tough game it was. We knew it was going to be, and we're delighted we were through, and long way the draw on Monday, so we're in that, and that's the main thing.
So you went in 1-0 at half time. What did you say to the lads?
Yeah, just at halfway there really in terms of that, massive underdogs, we knew that, but obviously had a 1-0 lead to take in the last 45 minutes, and then 5 minutes in, the referees give you would have seen it yourselves, the referees give a free kick for an excellent tackle, which the keeper probably could have done better, and that gets him back in the game. In the first half, he didn't, it cost in the first half, didn't play the advantage. We could have been 2-0 up at half time. We didn't play the advantage. And it's nothing I haven't said to the referee at the end,
I have to say the advantage that he didn't play was a strange one, because he had the time to give the advantage, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, there's a strong rumour that he's got to start at Ken Beattie's factory on Monday morning. I don't know how true that is.
Right.
Well, Les, we'll know after social media, you were there. It didn't all end after the final whistle, but before we get on to that, can you tell us a little bit about how you thought the game went, and could you see this sort of thing escalating as the game went on?
The game first half, it went in phases. Morpeth came out in first 10 minutes, I thought they were going to walk it. Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden Aycliffe get a goal, and it's all Aycliffe. Yeah. It went back a little bit to Morpeth again, and Morpeth didn't score, so it went in 1-0 to Aycliffe. And what came after that, there was no real clue in that first half that it was going to happen.
And obviously you're walking off after the game's finished. Did you speak to anyone? Did you see anything happening as you were packing up to go?
No, literally as we were packing the cameras up, we were at the furthest point really away from the changing rooms, and we just seen a mass of bodies, and you have to realise it was dark, so we couldn't get a great grasp of what was going on, other than there was a lot of bodies around the changing room area, and that was all we could see really.
So you've come off, you've went across, you've heard and seen what's going on, people trying to get into the change room. In your opinion, was it all one way, sort of Newton Aycliffe players, or was it just a mixture of the whole lot?
Well, what you have to realise, and I'm going to play devil's advocate here, we didn't see what started in the first place. And when we've arrived to the changing rooms, we couldn't actually see any Morpeth players because they were in the changing rooms. We could just see a mass of Aycliffe players, fans, supporters, whatever you want to call them, in front of us. So we couldn't really grasp what was going on, other than tempers were running quite high.
Now, on to something probably you don't want to talk about. We've all seen on Twitter, social media. Unfortunately, I wasn't there at the weekend, but we did have Les there. You know, like I say, we don't really want to bring things up, but can you talk us through the events unfolded after the game on Saturday and how it actually came about in your eyes?
Well, the game's a typical game, you know, for me, where you know it's going to have niggle, you know that there's going to decisions go for and against you. One team loses, one team wins. Sometimes there's some unsavoury things that may come from the dugouts on both sides and on the pitch from both sides, you know, but that's part of the parcel of 90 minutes, and you know, that's the way it goes. Then after that, you've got to shake hands and get on and move on. And, you know, as we're coming off the pitch, it takes one player, you know, to come and start with someone else for whatever reason. And then it's just a mass, you know, we had the secretary, he couldn't do the crime sheet with the referee after because he had his 7-year-old son and he wanted to take him out there. So it was really sad, you know, and it's a shame because it just takes one or two, you know. There's some good people, you know, down there, and it's just it is tough to take.
Yeah. I know, obviously, during the game, did you get the feeling before? I know you've just touched on it there, but did you get the feeling that was going to play out the way it did, or did you have no idea that it would be that bad?
I've been in football all my life, and I've never seen anything like that, you know. And it's you know, it's happening again here, it's happening again there. There's people surprised, and that's what I'm saying. You know, it was like I say, I've never seen it. People who've been in football never seen anything like that. Yeah. You know, some people are videoing it and they're getting told they'll break their legs unless they take it off. I mean, come on. I mean, bottom line, it's football. Last week we had a plane crash. A football team, you know, lost all their lives. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's a game of football. Yeah. You're disappointed you lose or win or whatever, but do you really need to go on like that? And to be fair, the people who probably need to speak to are the ones who, you know, who actually did something, because I'm sure they must be embarrassed about it or feel ashamed about it. Yeah. And if they don't, then that's the worry. Yeah. You know. But I just think, you know, it was, like I say, I've never seen anything like it, and I'm disappointed.
In your opinion, do you think, what do you think can be done going forward? I mean, is the club itself Morpeth going to be putting a complaint into the league, or is it just something that, you know, you're going to let the league deal with? Or sorry, would it be the league or the cup?
The league don't do anything about it. I wouldn't have thought so. The referee puts his report in, whatever he sees, and that. On our side, you know, I mean, that's down to the club what they decide to do. It's not. That's my opinion. You know, I'm not one of these to, like, if I'm honest, to like say, well, let's do something about it, you know. But at the same time, I think something should be done, you know, because I think it's, when does it stop things like this? And if you know, it's, you know, if someone does something wrong, they're going to continue to do it. We had a player come out out the dressing room with another player with his family and his grandma, and you know, people are waiting for him to come out to attack him. You know, you know, the grandma's getting thrown to the floor. You know, it's in front of, you know, people who represent, you know, and they're ashamed and all that, and it's frightening, and you know, there's some good people down there to see it, and but I just think it was, if nothing's done about it, then where does it stop? Where does it end? Does it get someone? Because this 7-year-old of my secretary, the wife who wasn't there, says, I don't want my son going to another away game now. And the secretary, and the secretary is saying, well, what do I do here? But that means you're losing out, sort of thing, or you're giving in, shall I say? You know, so I mean, it's just, I just think, see, something like that I've never seen in football, and people would say, you know, and unfortunately someone's lost his job, the manager's lost his job. Now, is it down to him? No, not really. Well, for me, it's under his control, it's under his watch, shall I say, but, you know, what's happened to the people who really did this, the involvements, you know, are they going to put their hands up and say, look, I've cost him this, I've cost him that, you know, and they know who they are.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thanks for being so honest, Nick, and we'll really appreciate your time. And obviously, good luck for the next round of the cup and going forward. I'm sure we'll catch up with you before then. Cheers. Thank you. For more fallout and reaction from the game, join us after the break.